but I do.
You do. I bet they love it too, do they? I bet. That's so sweet. Girl. Can I be your
People online. Thanks for coming, everybody. What's that? I heard some. All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. Today, we're going to do videos. So literally the easiest thing and the easiest way. So we have a template. We've got handouts here that we'll get into here in a second. But social media presence, your brand is going to be so important this year to build your business. Actually, we were just chatting about that before this. So, and a different way you can kind of tell your story and separate yourself from the sea of realtors out there. So this is just an avenue. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's very practical and easy to do. If I can do it, literally anybody can do it. So before we get started though, there's fresh banana bread that Krista Deese made. That's why you guys got to come in here. Krista Deese made this fresh banana bread. Jeff Bolin gives it 10 out of 10. Or 11 out of 10. And then we want to say thank you to our partners here. Amy Robbins, Alexis Smalley with Roth Mortgage, and Lana Neal with Chicago Title. Thank you. Hi. And then, last but not least, I want to introduce Chassie. Everyone knows Chassie, but we want to introduce her officially, especially with this. So, thank you, Chassie. National Director of Marketing, right?
Correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, why don't you tell everybody kind of how you'll start? We're going to start this off with Chassie giving some techniques, right?
Yes, so Chris is gonna talk more video editing and I'm gonna kind of talk a little more like creating the clips technique. So everyone who has a handout, I'm gonna kind of go down these quick tips. And for you all on Zoom, we're gonna email this out to you or maybe Jeff to kind of shoot it up on the screen.
Yeah, he'll share he's gonna.
Okay, he'll drop it in the
Okay.
chat for you. Okay. So just very basic tips here. So first, everybody have one? Okay, first one for media creation, wipe down your camera lens. I know how basic that sounds, but it makes a huge difference in creating clear quality media. It creates like a blur on your photos, and when light hits it, it makes your image just kind of crappy, just to say the least. So that's my biggest tip. So, and I also don't want you guys to get overwhelmed with all of these steps. Focus on a few of them when you're creating media. Like, okay, I'm going to focus on A and B. Don't worry about all 12. Okay. So the first one, clean your camera lens. The second, test your lighting. So Chris is going to edit a walkthrough video.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're in the house, artificial lighting isn't the best thing. So turn on all the lights, take a quick, clip with your video, with your phone, see how that looks, and then turn the lights off if you're in a room with natural light. See which one looks better. You kind of use your own discretion with that. So number 3, now I'm speaking for iPhone users. Chris, you can probably pipe up and speak for Android users. So when you are taking video of homes, the interior of homes, you want to use the wide angle feature on your iPhone. So if everyone can get their iPhones out,
Or Androids.
or Android, sorry, or Android. And Chris is gonna show you where it's at on the Android, and I'll show you where it's at on your iPhone. Maybe show on the camera too, Chris.
So, can you see this okay?
So if you have an iPhone.
Yeah.
If not, here you go.
0.5, open up your camera. Everybody with me?
So you're gonna open up your camera. There's a 0.5 right here. So
It's gonna be.
it'll zoom everything out. So instead of that normal camera, it zooms it out to a wide angle lens, and you can capture more of the space.
So for those of you on Zoom, if you are an iPhone user, let me figure out, it's gonna be this 0.5 right there. And that creates a wide lens. So does everyone have that? Everyone good on that? Okay. You're gonna get more of the, obviously, the space in your video.
That's right.
So number 4, use a gimbal. This helps keep your videos smooth. They're like 99 bucks on Amazon. This is a DJI Osmo. I'll put my phone on it. Kind of show you how it works a little bit. Turn it on. Now they're sensitive. Sometimes they get mad at you and will start doing weird stuff. So kind of see how that counterbalances you and makes for a smooth video. And then I can click a button and turn it vertical. So when you're shooting home videos, we'll get into that, you're vertical. So this is a good little tool for that. Even if you're creating community media or even taking just any pictures in general, videos, these are great. You know how they do those walkthrough cool videos on TikTok? This is what they're using. Very smooth. Okay, so tip number 5, remove your shoes when you're shooting video. So shoes kind of make your feet a little funky. The smoother you can get the video, if you're wearing socks in a house or just bare feet, you can like move a lot better. Sandals are like the worst thing you can be wearing too, because you can easily trip over them. Okay, I'm gonna move through this as fast as I can so Chris can get to editing. Okay. Number 6, make sure you're shooting in straight lines. And what I mean by this, hopefully those of you on Zoom can understand what I'm saying. So you're looking at a house, you're looking at a room, check out the corners of the walls or your wall line and line up your shot to match that line. Does that make sense to you all? Like you don't want kind of crooked lines when you're, I know it's crazy right now, but you don't want crooked lines when you're shooting because your whole image just kind of looks tilted. Those strong lines really throw people off when you're viewing media online. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, number 7, find a balance between the ceiling and the floor. So you don't want to be angled too low. You don't want to be angled too high. You don't want to show, 60% ceiling and, 20% floor. Finding like a nice halfway balance is something you're just going to have to view and like check yourself and figure out, I guess. Number 8, shoot from waist to chest high. A lot of people get in the habit of shooting too high, and that actually doesn't make the room look any bigger. Shooting from like waist level or chest level makes the room look obviously bigger and expand. Yes, so where am I at here? So waist or chest high, you don't want to be shooting, too high because the level, like this level about right here. And when you're in the bathrooms, you want to shoot a little lower because you don't want to get yourself in the mirror. So bathrooms are the exception. You're shooting kind of weird angles just to show the room in general, especially those weird habitats. Let's see. Yeah, which brings me to number 9. Be aware of reflections in glass and windows. Like glass in the kitchen, like your stove is reflective sometimes. Windows, mirrors, like, decorative mirrors, just as much as you can try to not be in the shot, the better off you are, because it's kind of odd.
Can we add closed toilet seats?
Yes, close the toilet seats. Close the toilet seats. Yes, you can definitely add that. That's a good one. Okay, last one real quick. Create clips in vertical and horizontal orientation. So we are all very much in the habit of creating, see, it can get a little wonky on you. Can they see? So I'm gonna go to horizontal. We're all very much in this mode because that's how we view TV. But when we shoot like this and put on social media, you're missing a whole lot of media you could be showing. So by turning the camera vertically, you're gonna fill up the entire page with a video. All of your social media and apps like video in vertical orientation. So that is all I have. Chris can take it over.
No. So she is so right in that. And as far as the amount and your experience of doing videos and pictures.
Don't forget your online.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Videos and pictures, you've done quite a bit. So can you tell them real quick the story of shooting the $1 million listing from your phone?
Okay, so
Multi-million dollars.
we shot, Mark, you probably know this house. We shot a house in Carmel or Zionsville, a couple of years ago, it was like the most expensive listing on the market. And we brought in our cameras, our flash, we were hooked up to laptops to watch it and make sure we were doing good. And honestly, the iPhone, I was like, hold on, because this is taking a very long time to shoot this house. And let's check our iPhones and see what it looks like. So we did, and our iPhones were looking better than our cameras. So we shot this listing. Now, if you like that highlighted, like lit up look, your iPhone isn't going to be for you. You're going to want to hire a photographer who does more of those flashes. Mark has some great people who do that. But we shot this house on my phone, and no one really knew. You have a $1,200 camera in your pocket. Yeah. Yeah, so think of how good that is. And it does a good job balancing your darks and your lights, whereas like a professional camera doesn't pick that up. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
That's
and
my
then-
story.
So she's gonna do probably a little bit more training in depth, but you talked about presets and balances with, you know, light, and contrast and all that stuff. That's like
Yeah.
way above my head because I'm super.
Okay, so next week, we're gonna plan to go in depth from what Chris is doing today.
Yeah.
And do a Reels video editing session.
So,
And then we can get into photographs and Lightroom presets, and I'd be happy to share those.
something that's a little more in depth for you. This is just kind of made to be very simple. Not necessarily to replace a videographer on $1 million listing per se,
Right,
but you know, if you're, you know, just hustling, it's a $300,000 listing, whatever. You don't want to have a videographer come out, get pictures done already. Just literally go through the house, and we'll get into this here in a second, but with just this template, put together a video for your social media that's real quick and easy to make. You know, take you maybe 20, 30 minutes to make the video, and, you know, boom, there you go. And you represent, you know, your brand really well. So put High Garden on there, pick your website, this is what I did, or whatever you want to do, your picture. It's up to you guys. However you want to brand yourself and, you know, brand your content that's up to you, which is great about this place. So, all right. Well, then make sure everybody's got this. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody. And then how many of you have video leads or
Just downloaded
you
it.
just download it? Well,
Yeah.
Video lead.
you get a piece of banana bread if you want.
I guess I will. Twist my arm, then.
All right, so Video Leap is the editing app. I think it's like $35 for the whole year. So if you don't have a lot of money, you're like, oh my gosh,
It's only
whatever.
3 a month though, if you do it by monthly.
Yeah, so $3. Okay,
So what is it called?
Video Leap.
Video lead.
Yep.
And a 5-day free or 7-day free trial, which I'm in now.
So we've got on this sheet, I think 4 different shooting techniques. So we have span, dolly, truck, and tilt for those of you out there. So I'm just going to run through this real quick on my camera for your techniques that you can use walking through your house. So span, pretty self-explanatory, right? You can see on the side of the screen, we're just going to span the room like this. Pretty easy, right? And what Chassie was talking about on the left-hand side where it says 1. So when you open up your camera, this is typically what it does. So if I zoom out to 0.5, that's the wide angle. You see how much more of the room I capture, right? That's cool. So this is 1. All right, that's span. The next one is dolly, which is, say you have a focal point, this coffee cup, and I'm dollying out or I'm walking back. All right, or you can zoom in on it. So if there's a specific feature of the house that you want to call out, definitely do that. Maybe it's an accent wall, you just want to kind of zoom back from. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool looking and it's sexy and it's appealing for Instagram, social media. And then you add some cool music to it, it all comes together.
These are great story
Yeah.
techniques, Instagram story techniques too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Truck. So if you're, let's say there's a living room. This is the living room right here. And I'm just basically walking the length of the room. Kind of capture. I'm not changing the angle, I'm just kind of walking. Or I can go back this way, then walk, like that. Yeah. So that's a really cool way to show a space, and then tilting. So I use this for high ceilings, vaulted ceilings, staircase, whatever. And actually, I'm by no means a videographer, but
She's got about 5 different ones. That one's the cutest.
the cute scenes.
Yeah.
Who would have thought never cute scenes? So, and then this one, the tilt, all it is right here. Boom, I'm going up like that.
Do you ever see those really cool, intriguing Instagram stories or maybe TikTok videos or reels where they're like showing a big mountain or something, like a beautiful scene? That's kind of what they're doing. They're taking the phone and kind of pulling it back.
Yep, that's awesome. So let's get into it. So we'll get into the video lead app. So I literally just shot a bunch of like random cool things. So this template, we tried to make it super easy for you, where it just says the front of the home. Let's go ahead and say span. So that way you guys don't have to think about it when you're at your appointments. You can just go in and span the house. So this is what the app looks like right here. You can select a new project. It'll have, we'll have all these photos, right? And then you can just pick what you want and it'll open up a new project for you. And don't get overwhelmed. It looks overwhelming initially, but it's not that hard. Okay, I promise. If I can do it, anybody else can do it. Seriously. I'm not that smart. So it's the exterior shot, right? And you can mix and match these different techniques, whatever you're feeling. So I'm just going to press and hold, and I'm going to drag this over and put it to the initial flow of the house. So when people look at the videos, they want to see a natural flow of the layout. So obviously the first place to start would be the exterior. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. This is a 7-second video that I shot. You see, I kind of zoomed out, and then you can see where I kind of put the camera back down. So I don't want to show that. I don't want to show that portion, the beginning and end portion of that. So all I'm going to do is click and drag right here, and I can zoom it. I can cut the clip, or I can extend it back out. You see that, everybody? Down here. So I'm going to go ahead and clip out that first part, and then this right here, where it's just this. Got it? That's pretty easy. So, and what we want to try to do is just every 4 to 5 seconds, because our attention span is only good for that long, we want to switch the camera angle. We want to switch the clip, okay? So you can go through the house, you can take a 10-second video, and then you can trim it down to this essential 3 or 4 or 5 seconds that capture the meat of the video, okay? And then you can add like a little bit of text here and there. Okay, so the next part would be the entryway on this document. And I put dolly, I put walk back from the door. I walked into the door in this one because that's what I was feeling. So here, let's go to the beginning. So we'll come here. See how it just cuts into the next clip? Nice and smooth. So I'm going to hit pause because that is a long, long video. It's 9 seconds long. So I'm going to go ahead and just clip that down a little bit to where it's about 4 seconds. So now, when I come back here, maybe even that's a little long. Kind of getting bored with that shot already. So 1, 2, boom. Then I switch to the next one. So, and I think I did the dining room. All right, so let's do the living room right here. Yeah. So I'm just gonna click, drag it over to the third section of my video. And then I'm going to cut this down the side to where it makes sense. So yeah, I spanned the room right there. Make it a tad bit longer so you can see it.
Were you shooting the video with your camera outside the app? And then your
Yeah.
app allows you to pick up whatever you want that's in your gallery?
Yep, exactly.
And are you actually editing those pieces that you shot outside? Are those being cropped as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So all of this, and I can split up the 5 seconds here, which I'll show you here in a second, and delete a certain portion of it. Or if I wanted to come back to that and pick up where we left off, we can do that too. So there's a lot of really crazy cool things that we can do with this. Today, it's super simple. We don't want to overwhelm you. Chassis can get into that more if you have any other questions. But like this, anybody can do, and it's great. So my next clip I want to do is this. I shot the kitchen, kind of walking in. Again, it's another technique that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. So that way we're not too bored here. So we're just going to kind of make this video come together. So here's what we have so far. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. See how it's all starting to come together a little bit? And this one's 11 seconds, which is really long. So I want to cut that down. So if I'm coming through here, I already know where I want to cut it. I want to cut right about here, maybe. Okay. So I'm going to splice, I can splice it, and I created 2 new videos out of that. So if I wanted to go like at a faster rate or something here and slow it down here, I could. But I'm just going to really take this part out and delete it. And cut this down to about 3 seconds. So I transition from here to there. Oh, cool, highlighting the kitchen. Look how big and spacious this kitchen is. And then,
You really like that gate.
yeah. So this gate was just got 1 clip. So it's kind of like,
Baby gate?
yeah, yeah. It's a little baby gate. My baby's out there. So you see how I wanted to draw attention to the tall wall? So I came in here, boom. And then, oh, wow, that's a really tall wall. And then into the master bedroom, and I'll zoom out from there to kind of show it. Look, it's a nice made bed. Make sure you're lifting, your shoulders make their bed. And then this clip I don't even want to use, so I'm just going to delete this. Okay, and I want to just fancy this up a little bit. So it's only 3 seconds long. It's not too long and drawn out. All right, so this is what the video looks like as a whole.
If I talk, can they hear me?
Can you guys hear
Can you
Chassis?
hear me talk? Yes, Jacqueline.
No. Yeah.
They
Okay.
can. Okay. A little bit. I'll speak up. So the more you focus on these techniques on the back, the easier it's gonna be when you go to edit, and the cleaner and less complicated it will be. So the better short little small clips you can get, the easier the editing is. And so I just kind of want to, don't get overwhelmed with editing. Just create like the good clean media.
Yeah. So, and that's pretty simple. Does everybody feel like that's pretty simple so far? Like anybody, how you guys feeling about it?
Just need to get me up and work it.
Yeah.
And practice in your own home.
Yeah.
Like practice in your own home. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect.
So here, I'm gonna add our High Garden logo, add the project. Yeah.
Question, can you add a filter?
Yeah, you'll be able to filter it. Most definitely. So I added this logo. You see how it's like just kind of randomly in here in the video when I hit add. So I'm gonna click on that. It's gonna pop up, and I'm just gonna drag it to overlay on top of the video. And then I'm going to drag it to the length of the video. Boom, and let me readjust the size if I zoom it in, pinching in with it, and then adding that. Yep. See how that's super easy?
This is how you create reels and TikTok. These overlays on your-
Okay, so if I just hit this, okay, I'll go back. So if I hit this plus sign right here,
Okay.
right there, and I selected my picture,
Okay.
then it'll just randomly pop up in the middle of the video. I click and hold, I go up, I overlay it. And then I want to highlight that. So when I click on that, this will come up. I'm going to drag it the length of the video.
So it stays on the whole. video.
Yep, it stays on the whole video. And then I pinch this H in, kind of like how you zoom in. And then I just put it in the bottom right-hand corner. And that's how we've got that. Okay. And then if you want to take it a step further, I just hit my text. There's a text button down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And then it says double tap to edit. So I'll just throw my website up there. Hit that and do the same process. Come down here and then drag that to the length of the video. So now I've got branded content. So if you want to do your face, your website, is there anything else you want to do?
The home address.
The home address?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great point. So the home address, what I did for this one, let's see it. Let's add another text bar for practice. So down here it says text. I hit text, 739 Amanda Street, whatever.
Banana bread street.
So I've got, say I just want it for this section of the exterior, then I want it to go away. I'm just gonna hit this. Again, Chassis will can get into this more if you want, but the animation thing down here, I want it to scale, where's that? I want it to scale like this. Then I can set how long I want it to zoom in. So if I want it longer and drawn out, I do that. I slide that bar to the right. If I don't want it that drawn out, and I slide that back down. See how it's quicker? Boom versus boom.
Like, make it-
Yep, and so that's just on the end. You see how it says in? There's another out, and that's how it fades out. So if I hit out and I scale, let's slide it out. This, see how it slid out? Or if I want it to slide to the left, I can do that. If I want it to fade, then I can do that. See? All right, and then I want to make sure I mute all my audio on this, so that way all the background noise is not in the whole video. And then let's add one more element to it, with just a quick, cool audio clip. So these have like stock, this app has stock audio you can choose from. You just hit audio down here, it says music. If I hit my music, these are all the options. There's a ton of different options to keep up with the tempo. So if I go to, let's go to Night Out, I'm feeling frisky, you know. All right, so I just added something in there and I'm gonna trim it. Sorry, I'm gonna drag it and trim it to the length of the video. Find out which part of the song you want, where it picked up tempo or whatever. We won't get into that too much today, but, and then I will have, let me share my audio. And then I'll have my audio and my video.
So lonely tonight. Every time we spend time, I want to do this for the last time. I don't need it, no, I don't need it, no, don't need you here to feel alright.
And you can set it where you can transition from one of the frames of the video where it transitions to the next one, where it hits on a beat or whatever. So there's a lot that goes behind it with your imagination, you
And
know.
applying for Reels and TikTok.
Yeah.
All like, that's how they do it.
Yep. So I mean that's pretty easy, I think. So and on your sheets here, if you didn't get one, Alex. Hi, Jenna, come on in. And if you want one for Chris, but so the importance of rooms stays for buyers. So it's important to kind of keep these clips, try to keep them, within 30 seconds or so, especially with the house. But the most important rooms for a house, for the National Association of Realtors, living room, master bedroom, kitchen. So obviously you want to make sure you shoot those. Okay, those are really important rooms. You don't want to walk through. I don't really care to see the second, third, and fourth bedroom. Like, let's be honest. I mean, unless there's something really cool or unique about them, where you can call it out in the video, let's not worry about those. But yeah, so hopefully that template helps, because it starts with the exterior entryway and then into all these main living room, master, kitchen, and everybody sees what they want to see with the property.
Is there an ideal length, or does it depend upon what you're gonna use it for, like a reel versus a story versus putting it on YouTube?
Yeah, so you want to answer that one?
If you're gonna put it on YouTube or like a website off of my board, that's probably gonna be like a 1 to 2 minute video. If you're gonna do a reel, a reel or a TikTok, it needs to be 60 seconds or less.
Yep.
People
So,
don't have a lot of attention span. If you wanna do like if it's like an upscale home with a prestigious neighborhood, you would add in clips of the neighborhood and more things that can make it a little longer.
yeah, so I've seen, just from my activity on my website, because I started throwing these, my website onto these videos, and I've seen an uptick in the visits to my website. Like, oh my gosh, I've had, it went from maybe 20 or so visits in the past month to like over 90 right now. And I think that was just 1 or 2 videos. So imagine doing, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a listing video. It can be like another video we edit with your website or whatever. And just imagine if I did that every week, I'd start getting some traction, I think. So people signing up and whatever through my website. So yeah, I mean,
What was the name of the app you were in?
Video Week.
Is it free or?
So there's a light version which is free, but it's like $35 a year, $2 every month or whatever. So every 3 months. So that's
Worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it to invest in your business. And if you can't afford a couple bucks, let's chat. I can lend you some for interest, and then you close your first deal.
With interest, nice.
Yeah, with interest.
25%.
It ain't free. No, I'm just
It
kidding.
ain't free.
But yeah, I don't know. I was walking through the house and my cellar's cleaned up, and I'm just like, oh, let me shoot a quick video. I put together this video. Like, I wonder if other people are having this same kind of like problem or thought where they're like, I can take advantage of walking through this house right now when it's super clean. So I went ahead and did that, posted on our workplace, and then had, great responses from you guys. I'm like, maybe everybody else can use this. I don't know. Because it's very practical and it's very easy to do. So why not?
Right.
Why not do it and see how you can grow your business from that avenue?
And don't worry about perfection, just get it out and throw it up there. You'll get better as it goes on.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Chris, you're like, oh, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. I know I'm that way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a work in progress. Just start somewhere, start anywhere.
Yep. Absolutely. So do you guys have any questions out there or in here? No. I mean, it's a pretty short, simple session today, but I think there's a lot of value in it too. So we could practice. Anybody want to practice?
I think everybody should do a quick video.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
A tour of High Garden offices.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
All right, you guys want to do it? All right, let's download the video week app.
You can use mine.
Or there's a free version you can download.
No, she's talking about the gimbal.
Oh, the gimbal.
I know, I'm about ready to get on Amazon right now. Try it.
Chris, do you want to throw your phone on here and do it?
Oh,
Like,
sure. Yeah.
kind of just go through maybe the shot techniques and everyone can see it as you go through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not sharing my screen. I might just.
Yeah,
I
you're
do
gonna,
need
you're gonna
to-
have to screen share. Yeah, you're
Okay.
gonna actually go through and kind of show us some video, like you can do the kitchen, you can do an office, how you can.
Ooh, gross.
Look at that guy. There you go. You got it, Chris.
Okay, chassis.
Which
This
Well, whatever, if you're like showing a house, yeah. you can do that. I did this for a listing. Or you just want to, post a video talking about the market, but. Yeah, doesn't matter whether it's a client, whatever, but remember to kind of keep the video clips at 4 or 5 seconds long, switch that. So that way you can. Alright.
Only 3 in stock.
Hurry. Okay, I did this clip. What's that? It's a camera on it. Like all, called laggy. It's a great word. Laggy. Jeff just made it up.
Okay, door now.
All right, well, I'll walk through without recording. The laggy. Maybe we should, you can record one here. There we go, that's better. All right,
This is it.
but I don't think I can record on Zoom. It's not gonna give me that feature. Okay, but I mean, from like the editing standpoint, I won't be able to do that. But yeah, we can practice these like little techniques, I guess. Walking this way. Just to kind of do a refresher. Whoa. There it is. There's Grant. And then we'll zoom out. Nice and steady. And then we'll span. And then we'll tilt. Yeah, how do you get the fresh shoes? So. All right, y'all. Well, if we don't have any questions online, I don't think, right, Jeff?
Is this only accessible on your phone as an app or can you use it on a PC?
I think it's just to your phone. It's more of a mobile app. I've not tried on the PC, but
When you upload video files to your computer, it's time and it's heavy and Chris, I'm sure you know, like it takes so much more time and effort on your computer versus I think your iPhone or your iPad, I'm pretty sure that can be used if you want a bigger screen. But the whole purpose of like creating on your iPhone is that the files are easy and it's faster. When you get into video editing on your computer, it just takes a whole lot of time. File transfers are a pain. So that's just kind of the purpose.
If
okay.
you haven't done video editing before, just start with it.
Yeah.
Or your phone. Learn on your phone.
Yeah,
Don't even think about it.
it's very complicated. Yeah.
If you can learn on
very
your phone,
complicated.
then you're done.
Unless you've got a MacBook Pro, then
All right.
phone to MacBook Pro is very easy.
All right.
But if you
So
got a PC, it's a pain.
Rich Highgarden, not to be confused with Highgarden. It's Highgarten.
Is that our namesake?
So, Rich, you said you got your $90 gimbal has resulted in millions of dollars in sales.
Yeah, that's correct. I'll tell you what, My gimbal basically was the key to unlocking my initial success in this industry.
Hey, Rich, hey, just 1 second. Can you turn it up maybe on the computer? Oh, yeah. Is it? We're trying to hear him a little bit better. All right, sorry, Rich.
Hey, no worries. I hope you guys can hear me. No? No?
So.
Okay. Basically, I bought a gimbal and I started editing together movies, and I ended up getting a lot of out-of-town business here in Phoenix. There's 280 people a day moving into the state. So there's a lot of people that want to see videos of homes before they make the move. And it has basically gotten me a client that flips homes. I've sold and bought 4 different homes for those clients. And also just having them share it on their social media, I ended up getting $1 million in referrals. So it's been a blessing, and honestly, the best $90 I've ever spent.
That's awesome. And why do you feel like that? Do you feel like, is it because of your quality and your brand is a lot better?
You know what? I'm not like out there trying to make a masterpiece. I edit my videos together pretty quick, but I think just people being able to see an actual video versus the pictures online goes a long way. So I've gotten pretty quick with my editing, and I'm not trying to stay on the social norms. Some of my videos are 4 minutes, some are 8 seconds. It just depends on what I'm cutting it for.
Right. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then Troy Amaro, are you going to share the PDFs and recording of this video? Yeah, we did record this session. If that's what you're talking about, Troy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. That's what I was asking about.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you'll have that 1-page doc that Chassis will send out. So yeah, no worries there. It'll have the template and you can run through that. And then Chris Hitchcock, what format do these videos save in? Which is a great question. Is it stored on our phone so we can share it to any socials? So yeah, you'll export it. You can export it in, maybe I can share my screen here in a second. So I'll handle this, and then Chassis, I'll let her kind of answer as far as the format goes, because
I'm not sure I mean, you can upload it to any social media channels or any websites, as far as I know. I don't know the exact format. Let me look.
there are different formats you can do in this. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, you can, in different resolutions, different frames per second. Let me see.
So if I'm right here, if I hit Canva and format, you see right here where I can do a 1:1, it'll change the scope of that picture. And then if I do a 9:16, see how it cuts it? And if I do a 3:4, it'll, yes, thank you. And then a 4:5. So you see how that's different? So yes, you can absolutely format it in different ways. Chassis, she said something really great earlier before this meeting. Yeah, which is shooting in portrait mode with it zoomed out, because it takes up a lot more real estate on your social media. And actually I did that, it worked really well. And I'm just like, that's crazy that that simple switch from landscape to portrait, just takes up a lot more on people thumbing through.
It's an MOV file, .mov.
.mov file, if that means anything to you. Then if I hit export here, I can upload this into 4K, and then the frames per second, I'm not really versed in, I don't know what that means.
For reels and stuff, I leave it at their settings because it downloads faster, and everyone's viewing those on small devices anyway, so don't worry about that. For your listing videos, when it goes on a website or YouTube, I would pop it into 4K and higher frames per second. It's just a better quality. But it's a heavier file and it takes up more space, and it's just heavier to email and upload, takes a lot longer time. There's more information packed in that file.
Do you know if you record on like 1080 and not 4K, expand it to 4K, would that lose?
You can expand on the canvas. I'm not sure about the quality difference. Is that what you're asking?
I'm just wondering if your iPhone's set to 1080 and not 4K, you're filming in 1080 and then you go like here, but there's no, I don't know how.
I honestly don't know. It's magic.
I don't think it'll work. It's not gonna make a difference. Because
But-
your video is only in 1080.
But when you do create video, you do want to, in the iPhone, I can't say this for Android, you do want to do at least 60 frames per second when you're creating video for a better quality. Yeah. That makes sense.
All right.
There's a setting in your iPhone.
Okay, so Rich, you were saying you could use fade out page with High Garden logo, HUD logo, and AR logos. There's someone that can assist me with that, not too solid on editing graphics.
Say that again.
So Rich Highgarden was needing help, I think, with fading the logo, fade out page with Highgarden logo, HUD logo, and NAR logo. So just kind of fading that out, I think.
Like a whole page of it or individual?
And sharing with the client, yeah, I think just like the whole page or just the
More or less
logos.
just a JPEG image that you could use a fade out screen and technically have all the logos that we need, maybe incorporate my website as well.
Okay, but as far as the fading out, you're talking about in your videos, right? Or-
Yeah, so the last thing that it would cut to would be that specific JPEG.
Yep.
And it could just be stagnant. It doesn't need to be a video file by any means, but just to have all those logos and maybe a web address, that would be helpful.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I go here to this, right? And I select the logo. I just drag it out further. See how I just drag it out further than the video clip? So as soon as the clip cuts off, it's just that logo.
And you can
Yeah,
take
I
your
don't
resign
use
or-
that feature. I use iMovie. So I'm not able to put that logo in
Yeah,
like you are
fine.
with the editing
It's
feature.
like you drag it to the. It's on the layer.
Sorry, Rich. No, it's okay. Sorry. Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I don't use this editing feature. I use iMovie or
iMovie.
iClips, whatever it is. So
Use it.
unfortunately, I don't think that keeping the Highgarden logo in the corner the way you guys did it is feasible. So
Okay.
that's why I was asking if maybe a JPEG of having the Highgarden logo and the other HUD and NAR would be possible.
I imagine so. Yeah. I'm not.
I guess my question is, do we have like someone in-house that helps out with marketing materials? I think that might be.
Yeah.
Package on the website.
Yeah, there's a,
With the Highgarden logos.
what kind of file does it need?
JPEG.
Okay, it's like a picture?
Yeah.
You could convert that, or we could convert that.
Yeah. Chassie can chat with you offline about
All
that.
right, cool. Thank you.
Oh, I thought. Oh, sorry.
You're right.
And
I walked in.
there's one last question. When sharing with the client, is it a download and attachment? It can be shared through iCloud and link. So it'll just be a regular file. You can download it as an attachment, email as an attachment, as an MP4 file, or you could probably share it through a link,
Or
I
you
don't
can
know.
share albums.
or you can share the
If
album.
they're
If they're an
iPhone
iPhone.
users, you can share albums.
So, all right. Any other questions for anybody? I'm gonna stop the share of my screen. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for logging on. Hopefully that helps you guys grow your branded business, and you'll be able to make millions more, like Rich was saying with his gimbal. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for coming out here too.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Lunch is provided by